Episode 98. It is them. Ouch! The rich woman fell to the ground, looking miserable. She looked back and saw a handsome man coming out of nowhere. He looked cold and poised. Judging from his look, it was definitely him who had hit her. The rich woman immediately cursed. A boy toy? Trying to protect this shameless bitch! Hearing her, Jake's face became even more gloomy. After seeing Serena's face, he felt uncontrollably furious. Looking up, Jake held Serena's face and looked deeply concerned. You are? One of the other women thought Jake looked familiar, but she could not remember where she had seen him. Jake's sharp gaze fell on the other woman, and then quickly released Serena. Without anyone holding her back, Serena stood up a bit wobbly. Jake immediately took her into his arms. Smelling the familiar scent, Serena burst into tears. Darling, it hurts. He felt his heart was wrenched. It was the first time that she voluntarily called him that. Of course it hurt, bruised like this. He suddenly had a mixed feeling of anger, self-guilt, and regret. Holding Serena, he whispered, I'm here. I'm here. Turning to the rich lady, he said, You made my woman cry. Very well. Jake held back the urge to hit these women and commanded, Marcus, call the police. Marcus quickly caught the police and told them the address. The women were not scared at all. The woman coming first sneered, This bitch slept with my husband first. I am only punishing her. Don't get yourself into this. The police will help me. You know, my husband is Fred Jones. Jake chuckled coldly and said, I'll see whether they help Fred or Jake. Jake Robinson? Her husband is Jake Robinson? The friends of the rich woman became hesitant. Almost the entire Austin knew what Jake was like. Even these ladies who never paid any attention to the news. There was no way that Jake was promiscuous. However, the rich woman got up and bristled at her friends. There is no way they're married. She's a shameless bitch and sleeps with the two richest men in Austin. Jake's eyes became even colder, as if there was a blizzard going on. The rich woman became silent. Jake looked down and asked gently, Sweetheart, do you want revenge? Serena looked up, her hair messy, and her tender cheeks swollen and blue. Jake's heart sank. Without Serena's answer, Jake carried Serena, walking to the rich woman. Startled, the rich woman shuddered and asked, What do you want to do? Jake did not answer and told Serena, Keep them alive. Everything else is on me. The rich woman was shocked. She knew that Jake was capable of that. The younger generation looked up to Jake, while the older generation looked up to the Robinson family, especially the police. They respected Henrik a lot. Serena snuffed and looked at the rich woman's scared face. Jumping up, she kicked at the rich woman's legs. Screaming like a pig, the rich lady's voice startled her friends. As they were about to help, Marcus had stopped them. The guard of the university also came to help. Help! Help! The rich woman cried. Help! Murder! She crawled on the ground. Seeing her miserable look, Serena felt slightly better. Her face was still burning, so a revenge was called for. However, she was in no rush. but turned to look at Jake. Jake was surprised. That was it? Don't want to get my hands dirty. She had better ways to get back at this woman. At that moment, the police came. After seeing Jake, they did not even ask any details before they arrested the woman. At the police station, the women were taken into custody for 20 days. 7 p.m. With some documents in her hand, Miranda walked into the living room of Jake's house. Mr. Jake, here it is. Miranda caught a glimpse of Serena's bruised face, feeling bad. Serena looked at the documents Miranda had brought, looked it over and sneered. Indeed. It's them. You knew? Miranda was surprised. I expected no less. Except for them, she couldn't think of anyone else who would use Photoshop to set her up. Miranda shook her head and said, I had no idea they were so foolish. Isn't last time's lesson enough? Old habits die hard. Serena put down documents and asked, What about those women? As you said, we did not put any pressure on the police and someone had bailed them out, said Miranda. However, she couldn't help asking, Why would you let them go after what they did to you? Sitting on the couch, Jake looked knowingly at her and asked, What about what I asked you to do? All done, it's just... Miranda was a bit hesitant. Is it too much? Serena blinked and asked Jake, What did you do? Acquisition. Miranda thought, bankruptcy before acquisition. She was certain that the Robinson Financial Group would make the headline tomorrow. Mr. Jake would really do anything for his wife. What? Serena was startled. Then how about the company of Fred Jones? Are you able to acquire it as well? The rich woman's friends were merely her minions, but Fred had been a mogul in Austin for more than a decade. Not now, but soon. Jake looked at Serena and said gently, The credit is all yours, since it's your idea. Serena looked puzzled. All she had thought of was a way to make the rich woman suffer. How come it became her idea to acquire Fred's company? Seeing her confusion, Jake stood up and said, Let's go. It's time they pay for what they did.